Greetings, T-Mot, back again for another drive time. I really didn't want to make this video, but because of all that I'm seeing with people going nuts, people that are on the conservative side, missing the most important things that I have talked about for the last 2 years, I said I'll go ahead and make it. But I've been busy trying to gear up for my announcement on December 1st. If you want to, and I ain't worried about a whole bunch of people doing it, but if you want to provide some feedback, you can preview my campaign website at Grayson for Georgia, and that's Georgia, GA, the abbreviation. I'll let you figure out the rest, but it's out there if you want to go and preview. As always, if you can like it, you can share it. See first, understand, then to be understood. Never take the light of truth and place it under a basket. Let it shine bright for all to see. Now, I told you when Donald Trump first ran for office that there would be a civil war. Basically, a self-made man against those that are made by the 1%, the Federal Reserve, Central Bank, whatever face, the 1%ers, whatever face you want to put on them, by those that are made by that entity or entities and protected by the deep state. Donald Trump did it on his own. These people go in, personally enrich themselves, and they continue to do what they do. They are known as career politicians. I could tell you about some of the stories that I encountered myself when I first ran, being offered money to drop out of the race because of the things that I was saying. And if you look at my site from 2016, those things Donald Trump ran on, with the exception of the fair tax. But everything else pretty much is spot on. And I ran on those things in 2014 as well. And Donald Trump wasn't the first one to call it out like it was. I was an outcast in my own party as well. So I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. Only difference is I ain't had the money that Donald Trump had. And everybody thought that Donald Trump would self-implode. I still remember the clown image that they put forth of Donald Trump, basically saying the man was an idiot. And that takes me back to that situation. This is nothing against cashiers, but when you got somebody, you know, working as a cashier, calling a self-made man, a billionaire, an idiot, and they're working as a cashier, you know, you have to really take a hard look at that individual and ask, what the hell is your problem? At any rate, and, you know, people would bring up the argument, well, his dad gave him all his money. His dad gave him a few $1 million. He ain't gave him, you know, $8-9 billion. Okay, so that's that. But you can't even get people to understand that. So this civil war is in full swing. And I also try to tell people, and, you know, I'm told, hey, Derrick, you know, because I got my video coming out as well, you know, don't go negative. People don't want to hear negative. I get that. But what I don't understand about that is, why wouldn't you want to know who's pissing in your cornflakes? Why wouldn't you want to know so you could purge their asses? Why? I don't understand it. I want to know who's screwing me over so I can get rid of them. That's the way that works for me. Don't keep it from me. And we have a whole bunch of rhinos. Now, I got a message yesterday evening, and I didn't post it, but I'll go ahead and mention it, saying someone, a friend of a friend, got a text message that someone said that Isaacson was interviewed by Politico and said, Johnny Isaacson here, you're the guy that I ran against, that he was going to vote for impeachment. Now, I couldn't find anything on Politico's website. Maybe they're keeping it under wraps. But Johnny Isaacson has nothing to lose. And I told y'all he was going to resign anyway. Serves you right if you supported that rhino. But the Civil War is not just between Donald Trump and liberal Democrats, and that's where they keep you fooled. That's how they keep you doing the same thing over and over again. The Civil War is between Donald Trump and liberal Democrats and rhinos in the GOP masquerading as Democrats. And the reason that they are going to not impeach Trump, and I'm going to get to that, not convict Trump, is because their jobs will be online. And they know that they would lose their base if they did that. Johnny Isaacson has nothing to lose. So, maybe if they're, in his mind, maybe there are some others like Mitt Romney or, John McCain, if he was still alive, that'll step on out there and let people see who they really are and, try and put the kibosh on Donald Trump or try and negotiate with him to pull a Richard Nixon. Hey, man, it ain't looking too good. Go ahead. But Donald Trump is not like that. He ain't made like that. He's not a quitter. Okay? He is going to do this thing, and I believe he will win in a landslide just as he won before. So we got the impeachment hearings going on, and I've caught it here and there. I don't spend my day listening because I already know what's going to happen. I've told you, Donald Trump will be impeached. Look, I got a video that I put out about the Civil War when he first got elected. I even took you back to our Civil War where I told you that was basically about one group of rich bastards down here in the South who made it off of the backs of my ancestors, and the other group up in the North who didn't like that they had an unfair advantage and didn't want them expanding slavery westward. But anyway, that's another story. But I drew parallels in those two situations. So he is going to be impeached. All right. Why? It doesn't matter that Donald Trump was saying, look, we don't need to be giving our money to allies that are corrupt. Okay, everybody is agreeing that, I said everybody, but not me, is agreeing that Russia interfered in our election. All right? And everybody now has come to understand that the corrupt aspects of Ukraine were a part of it also, and quite possibly even more so than Russia. We know that Hunter Biden and his dad are tied to the hip with corrupt Ukrainian politicians. These are facts, all right, that are beyond denial, but they aren't talked about by the media because the media is the political arm that is used to feed the idiots of America. And that brings me to the point of the impeachment. The facts don't matter here, okay? All this is about is to try and throw enough, I want to say the word, but I'm not. Well, you know what? I'm going to, I'm sorry, language alert. The hope is that we throw enough shit at Donald Trump that it sticks. So when people, the idiots, now look, they already have most Negroes and liberals, all right? But the goal is to try and sway those that are in the Republican Party to not maybe go and show up. Well, they know they aren't going to vote for Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders type, But, maybe they might go and vote for the libertarian that won't win. The goal is to get them to not vote for Donald Trump because, we know we aren't going to get enough Republicans to put it all on the line in case Donald Trump loses, because they'd all go out the door right with him if they were to vote for conviction in the Senate. So the goal is to throw enough shit at Donald Trump that so much of it sticks that those that are swayed by the media, all right, will see it and will do something different. But it won't be based on the truth. It'll be based on lies. All lies. Yes, Donald Trump, and I think the guy's Mark Meadows, Mark something. He's considered to be a moderate Republican. And the guy said, yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it was inappropriate. But there is nothing that Donald Trump did that rises to the level of impeachment. And that's what you folk are not understanding. And what actually did Donald Trump do? He didn't hold up any money. There was no quid pro quo. He did not bribe anyone. They got their money. What Donald Trump wanted to know, hey, if there is corruption, I want to know about it. I want to know about it. I want it exposed because I am trying to drain the swamp in this country, and you say you are trying to drain the swamp in yours because your country has a history, your government has a history mired in corruption itself, just like we are here in this country. And this is what you people need to understand about this whole mess. So I'm going to say again to conservatives, I'm going to say again, you know what? I don't have to say it to conservatives because I believe you get it. I'm going to say to those who think they are conservative in the Republican Party, who support rhinos like Johnny Isaacson or David Perdue. I'm using my two here. And you know what? I'm using my two here in my state. I was showing somebody who just didn't quite believe me about what a rhino is, right? And I took them to the newamerican.com/freedom-index. I showed them David Perdue's constitutional voting record. There are people that make excuses for it. And then I said, now hold up. Now you making excuses for David Perdue. Well, he's a nice guy. Hey, yeah, he's a nice guy. Shook his hand. I'd drink a beer with him. But they ain't got a damn thing to do with his constitutional voting record. Well, man, maybe that's biased. Maybe that's biased. So you know what I did? Scroll right on over to Kentucky. Showed him Rand Paul's. 99%. Showed him Justin Amash's. Even though he's a rhino who had some other stuff going, he knew he wasn't going to accomplish anything anyway. High 90s. Showed him Thomas Massey. 100%. If it is possible for those individuals to have a 99+% constitutional voting record, why in the hell do we have Republican senators and representatives down in the 60s? Makes absolutely no sense. Flies in the face of all logic and reasoning. I don't give a damn who you are. You gotta be a damn fool to think that if one person can be in the 90s, another person cannot. Explain to me why you would think that it's not possible. I know it's hard for you to accept, hard for you to understand. You just go and look at your representative and your senator's constitutional voting record for yourself. Just look at everybody. You will see all Democrats are below 30%. The majority, 95% of them, are below 30%. Okay? But these Republicans, man, I'm telling you, draining the swamp is not about just the deep state. It's about the people that the deep state protects and looks to for keeping us in endless wars. And I'm going to tell you something. In 2020, Donald Trump needs somebody like me who will name those names. Now, I won't campaign on any of that stuff. Not going to go negative. I'm going to talk about what I support, and you can go there and you can see it for yourself. But he will need somebody that will get in the room and change that room. Have them quaking in their boots that they might be exposed for blocking good legislation or bringing forth something damnable on at the behest of the deep state and their lobbyists who are responsible for helping them to personally enrich themselves. Go in broke, come out multimillionaires. It is a shame. It's obscene. And that's what it comes down to. This is what Donald Trump is fighting against. Why do you think they killed Jesus Christ? Jesus Christ overturned the money changers' tables. And I don't mean his literal physical act. Jesus Christ showed the power of faith and love, okay? Not being corruptible. That's not what the leadership wanted. The leadership wants those that are corruptible. Jeffrey Epstein was a tool for blackmail. That's what they did. That's what it was about. Giving them access and bending people to their will through their own personal and deviant proclivities. That's how they operate, people. That's what we have. That's why this country is moving in the direction that it is going. And they are hell-bent and fearful of what Donald Trump is doing. Check out Grayson for Georgia. Let me know what you think, and we'll take it from there starting December 1st. If you're serious about doing something, now will be your chance. This will be the time, because Donald Trump needs firebrands. I'll tell you something. Rand Paul is one of the few that has been having the president's back on some very good things. Now, there are people up there speaking, on his behalf and whatnot, especially, during this impeachment process. And that's great. But we need people who aren't afraid to expose the Republicans like Trump and all the others are exposing the Democrats. Because the most dangerous people in the world are those who pretend to be something that they're not and are leading you down a path of destruction. TMOTOFGA out. Drive time. Till next time.